So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Roarrr Talk chat room. Today I've got a special guest here with me, Mr. Thabang Chiloane. He's an executive head at Nedbank in the Department of Public Affairs. Thabang, welcome this afternoon.
Thank you so much, Ferdi, and welcome to the viewers.
Fantastic, Thabang. So listen, we're talking COVID-19, we're talking about the lockdown. My question to you is, how have you personally experienced this process?
Well, I actually was thinking about that, and I think it depends on a personality. Personally, I think I actually have enjoyed the time at home. I'm a homebound person. I love being at my house with my family. So for me, it hasn't been a stressful time because I have two daughters who are at boarding school, and it meant they are here too. So I'm spending a bit more time with them. And with the rest of the family, and the kind of work I do, I can do from home. So I've been working. So it's just been, the difference has been that I'm not getting onto the Gau train to go to Sandton. Yeah. But I still do. In fact, I figured I pull in a whole lot more hours than I would if I were going into the office.
Yes. No, that's great to hear. Great to hear you're spending time with the family. And I think a lot of executives currently, although if they were ready for this in terms of from a technological approach, then time spent at home is actually a good thing, because they don't always get the opportunity to spend a lot of time at home. Would you say your business, your organization was ready from a technological point of view for this lockdown period?
Yes, look, different parts of our business obviously experience this differently. We are a bank, so we do have the bank branches that stayed opened, although there were not all of them, but we still had people who stayed open to make sure that ordinary public and people who bank with us had their money. And for us, we've always had access to 3G connectivity, so we just ramped that up. And what Nedbank did, which was helpful, was to also assist everybody to have a bit more bandwidth. So from a 10 gig, from a 5 gig, they ramped it up to about 10 gig. And we may ramp it out to 20 gig depending on the demands and all that. So from a proactive preparedness, we have been. In fact, we went into lockdown a week before the official lockdown. So we started working from home as part of our business continuity model a week before the official lockdown was announced, just to make sure that our equipment and our technology would be able to cope. And we are doing business and we are working. As you would know, the banks were part of the critical services, so they never closed. And we needed to make sure that the people could still be able to have their money and do business as usual, as much as they could during the lockdown.
Yeah, that's great to hear. That's great to hear. Like in my previous conversations, we've been talking about the effects of the lockdown, but also how it's allowed normal South Africans to sort of be fast-tracked in the technological space. Never did we think, we'd be sitting at home and actually being productive. And it seems like you and your team is already in that space where you are productive working from home. So what do you see in your industry in particular? What's going to happen after this lockdown period? Do you think things are going to be the same? Are they going to return to, the normal status quo? Or do you see things changing a bit?
No, I think anybody who thinks that things will ever be the same is in cloud cuckoo land. Things are not the same. Not in banking, not in any sector. So definitely we will have to ramp up our online delivery of our services. As it is, we've been, as a bank and as a general banking sector, we've been trying to coerce people or nudge them to using more online platforms. As you would just look at the fees, it's more expensive to go into a branch and transact than it is on the internet or on your cell phone. So it's been one of those things that we've been trying to do quietly to try and discourage people from using the face-to-face. Now it's going to be a reality. A lot more, and I think if we are to survive as a banking company and as a banking sector, we'll have to go the fintech route. And that means a whole lot more of us investing in technology, but also teaching the clients how to transact, how to be safe, how to transact safely on the internet, and to make sure that they know how to take advantage of that. So definitely things are not going to be the same. Remember, even next week when the lockdown moves now to level 4, it doesn't mean it's life as usual. There will still be restrictions. People need to now still change their behavior, and that is the biggest thing. To change our personal behavior, to make sure our hands are always clean, to make sure when we go out into the public area, we keep a sufficient social distancing, we have masks on, we always have our sanitizers around. So it changes a whole lot of things. So from schooling to work to transport and to that. So we have never, well, in my short life on this earth, been thrust into such an immense amount of change at the shortest possible time as humanity. It's not just a particular sector of the industry, it's all of us. And the sooner we embrace it, the less the stress will be. I think the stress is also caused by holding on to what we used to know, and not embracing the new normal. Yes. So the sooner we can embrace the new normal, the lesser our stress levels are. And by the way, stress is a killer. So I would advise people to try and lessen the stress levels by accepting, and also making sure you're physically active, make sure you're mentally agile, read, use this time to empower yourself, and not just sit there and watch TV. You're gonna get depressed, and that is the beginning of all distraction.
Definitely. I want to touch on something. You just mentioned the word change. I would presume that there's going to have to be a lot of change management, taking place in the corporate sector, but also in the social sector, because if people aren't willing to change, they're going to actually, this is sort of a defining moment in history, because if people aren't going to be willing to change, we're just going to get left more behind, if I can say it like that. So how do you see, maybe on a social level, how do you see change taking place?
So in my mind, there are two streams of change. There's the change that people like you and I will experience, and will pretty much be able to adapt because we already have the technology. We can Zoom and go into the internet and order stuff, and and get people to come, and without you moving out of your home.
Yes.
And that is the minority of us as a country. The majority of us are not going to be able to do those things as fast and as efficiently as you and I are currently doing already. And the change is going to be even more immense there. There will be a lot of job cuts, unfortunately. Because if we haven't changed the way we do business, it will be the old way, and some of the businesses will not thrive. And businesses such as restaurants and are one of those that I'm really worried about. I'm not sure how we're going to assist them. One, because you have a lot of people gathering together, and this COVID-19 is against such gatherings. So such would be, and what happens at the restaurant, besides the cooks and the management, you have lowly skilled people who are working there. And so those will be hit hard. But I'm not talking only restaurants, I'm saying lowly skilled people. In the short term to the medium term, I think the trick is how fast we can be able to change. And how fast we can be able to manage the change, how fast we can be able to learn new skills, because there are new industries that will pop up that will still need people, differently skilled, slightly more high-tech, but not necessarily computer boffins, but a bit more to do with computers and tech-wise. So we will have to invest some time in training a whole lot of people. There are basic industries or work or jobs that are going to be secured, and we could see them through the COVID-19 period. On the lower scale, security has been working, cleaners have been working. Some of the shop attendants have been working, and then on a more higher scale, higher skill level, the medical staff, of course, have had to and give off and sacrifice, and we thank God for them and thank and pray for their protection. So if I were a young person considering a job, I would be thinking somewhere in the tech space, somewhere in the medical space, somewhere in the pharmaceutical space, somewhere in the engineering space, because all these things will be needed in the engineering, will be needed to be done by engineers and technicians and all those things. That does not mean that's the end of it. We still have to eat. So agriculture becomes a very important sphere of work, because COVID-19 or not, we still have to eat, and the food needs to be produced. The vegetables and the fruit and the animals would still need to be taken care of and reared and all that. And so that chain also is another one. So I'm just saying, so things will be different, but it's not the end of the world. I don't subscribe to the apocalyptic view of things. Yes, at the spiritual level, there are things happening there. I'm not denying that, but I'm not saying it's apocalypse. You look at 100 years ago, the Spanish flu, and a whole lot of people died. And it changed the way people lived. Even a few years before that, there were other, like the Black Plague and all that. So these things have happened in time before. And as King Solomon writes, nothing that exists today is new. Well, I'm paraphrasing.
No, that's super true. No, I like your optimism and your outlook on this. I do think there's still a lot of opportunity, and I think if we are able to identify the times that we are in, then it's easier to see the opportunities that is in front of us. Even myself, I mean, I'm looking into using technology to further my business. Because that's ultimately the only way. And when you were busy speaking, I was thinking to myself, how quickly did this virus spread across the earth? It was very quickly. Now, just if you think about technology, gives us that opportunity to spread our services, our products all over the earth within a matter of a couple of seconds. So we are going to have to make a change. We're going to have to change personally, but also, from a social perspective, we're going to have to do a lot of upliftment of others and getting them up to par. With the tech space in particular. Thabang, I know yes, you want to add something, yeah?
No, I was saying one of the things that really this COVID-19 and the lockdown has showed me is that there's still good humans out there.
True.
And it's a disaster, and you would have seen by the amount of the outreaches that people have made. But it has also forced us to foster relationships and to take care of relationships. One, at the micro level, at the family level, it forces you to do that. And at the more social basis, for instance, we've always been very busy. I mean, for the first time, I've met my neighbors, some of my neighbors, and we've had to chat and found out what they did and all that, because none of us are getting out of our yards to go to work. And so over the fence, we could chat and find out. And I said, okay, I can help you. You can help me with that. And so it's not all bad that comes out of a disastrous situation. However, we need to pull that is the one message that I would like to spread to all South Africans and everybody else watching it. We need to pull, as you climb, we need to pull the one, because it's only in that way that we will have a sustainable society.
Yes.
Because it cannot be that a few have everything and it's not sustainable. And the sooner we be able to realize that, the better it will be for all of us as humanity. But I choose to be optimistic. It's not easy, but it's a choice. All of us have it. We have a choice to be positive or negative. But I choose to be positive, and I know because of my positivity, my health also gets renewed.
Absolutely. Thabang, lastly, do you have a dream for South Africa post-COVID?
Well, I think part of it was what I was saying earlier. I dream of a more caring society, a society that realizes that we cannot be an island of opulence in the sea of poverty. That island will soon be engulfed by a tsunami. And so a more is a dream. And caring doesn't mean only the rich must care. Caring is everybody caring for one another.
Yeah.
So the question would be, how much is rich? If us started caring for the next person, it rules out the question of richness. Yes, of course, we know if I have more than what I need, I'm rich. And that's what, for me, the definition of rich is. It doesn't mean tens and billions, tens and thousands and millions and billions. If I have more than what I need for my daily living, it means I'm rich. It's excess. It's rich. So for me, I dream of a more caring society. And we'll use the technology, we'll use all these other things to enhance our humanity. But a more caring society is what I dream and pray for.
Fantastic. Now I can share with the listeners and the viewers of this that you are yourself a very caring person, because I get my daily messages from you, and it's always very inspiring, and I really take it to heart. So yeah, look, I do want to say thank you for your time today. I think the message that you shared is a message of hope, and it's awesome to see individuals like yourself in those pivot positions in corporate and in society that can make a difference in the lives of many other people. So I do want to say thank you. I do want to honor you, and I do want to encourage you to keep on keeping on, because you're doing a great job.
Well, thank you, Ferdi, and I think the compliments are boomeranging back to you, and keep on roaring and touching lives of a lot of young people and helping them to reach the sky. In fact, not to let the sky be the limit, let the universe be the limit.
Yes.
But thank you for this opportunity, and all the best, and God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you too, Thabang.